Okay, so a lot of people will ask this, what is an appraisal? You hear this term getting thrown out all the time, but what is an appraisal and what is an appraisal contingency? Okay, so an appraisal, very simply said, is when the lender, the bank, the credit union, whatever the financial institution is that's giving you money, they're gonna go out and make sure that the house that you're making that offer on is actually worth whatever price you're offering on. But if you think about it, for most buyers, they're putting somewhere between 3 to 20% down for purchasing that house, meaning the bank is buying 80 to 97% of that house. So they want to make sure whatever it is that they're buying is actually worth what they're spending money on. So they send out an independent third party known as an appraiser to go and evaluate the property. They're going to look at the location, the age, similar comparable properties, and determine if you offered $500,000 on that house, is it worth $500,000, whatever your offer price is. So your appraisal contingency gives you the opportunity to renegotiate or cancel your offer if that appraisal comes in less than the price you offered. So for example, if you offered $500,000 for a house and the appraiser says the house is worth $490,000, if you have that appraisal contingency, you can then go back to the seller and say, hey, our appraisal came in low. I don't want to pay an extra $10,000 for this house, so will you come down in price to that new $490,000 number? The seller can say no. The seller is perfectly welcome to say, nope, 500, that's what you offered, take it or leave it. At that point, you have the right to cancel as long as you have that appraisal contingency and get your initial deposit back. Walk away from the house, no harm, no foul. Very often what happens is buyer and seller will negotiate on some amount that maybe the seller comes down to $495,000 and the buyer comes up with an additional $5,000 of cash. Because the important thing to remember for you as a buyer is if there is a low appraisal, so we offered $500, the appraisal comes in at $490, that $10,000 price difference has to be made up if the seller is not going to lower the price by cash. So that's an additional $10,000 you can think of as more down payment you're putting towards the house.